Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It is Nile, the brain of the mainframe, here at Pop XP with an amazing show with two of my favorite co-hosts, the teen sensation, always glossy, Mr. Billy Tucci, and fanboy Blevins is in the house. Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight?
I'm pretty terrific, man.
I'm doing amazing.
You guys there? You guys there?
Yeah.
You doing all right?
Yeah, you doing okay? You like comics?
Are you ready? Are you ready, Blevins, for this?
Man, I'm gonna try. I mean, there's so many questions from last time I didn't get to ask, so I'm making sure we knock them out tonight.
All right, man. You go. I know you got a little upset. Blevins got a little upset that he wasn't.
I didn't get upset.
Yeah, you were a little
Oh
upset.
yeah.
I mean,
you through your webcam. You're like, what the fuck?
Oh my god! I
They
mean,
don't know who I am.
I cried, but not like more than average. I mean, it happens. It happens sometimes.
No, we got a great special show tonight. We're 2 hours ahead of time, so people catch up with us. And but man, I'm so excited. We have two of the most talented creators in entertainment on our show that they're blessing us with us. Reno 911 returned last week. It's just as good, or if not better, than it's always been. It's one of the most original and just hysterical shows that we've ever seen. But they're also screenwriters in their own right, and comics for all the way from their NYU days to the legendary The State, to, of course, a lot of you might know them from Night at the Museum 1 and 2, where they played Wilbur and Orville Wright. So without further ado, if I can introduce the two and only Robert Ben Garant and Mr. Thomas Lennon. What's up, boys?
Hey, welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
Fishbone forever. Fishbone.
Tom, Ben, how are you guys doing tonight?
Yeah, can't complain. Happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're happy to
see
have
you,
you,
Billy. It's been a while.
It's been too long, my friend. It's been since San Diego all those years ago.
So let me ask, when did you guys first all meet Billy?
Prison.
In the joint. Either what happened was we're in the showers, naked as the day the Lord made us. Somebody said, you got to bite. You bite the scariest guy on the nose. And, of course, that was Tucci.
That was Tucci, yeah. Terrible advice. It didn't work.
No, and then we became good friends.
Yeah.
You want to tell the real story of how we met Tucci?
And I bit back.
Yeah.
Through Finney, right?
Finney, yeah.
The one, the only Brian Finney, who is my short film.
Yep.
And then we all hung out. I met you, Tom, first at Finney's house. We had a great night.
Yeah.
We barbecued, and then we were just hanging out, drinking wine in his backyard or in his living room or something like that. And man, we just made forever friends. And then I met Ben at San Diego all those years ago. And then we had a real late night. And then you guys had to go. It was right after my son was born. So it just so happens that my son William was born the week before San Diego Con. So I couldn't cancel it because of it cost us $7, $8, $10 grand just before we walked in the door of how big that show is. So we had my sister-in-law and her best friend came to work the booth and all. So and they're probably like 17, I think 8. I don't know what they were, 17, 16, 17. And so then Ben and Finney came down, and we were just hanging out. And, man, we stayed real late. And then you guys were going to drive back. Like, you crash over here in my room. And then I crashed with the girls. So it was and that was a great night. And I'm like, I love you, man.
more evidence that Comic-Con is the best thing in the world.
Especially when you can get away. And those are one of those rare times because you really don't get just to hang out a lot because it's all work. You know?
You pitched me a movie idea that I still remember. Yes. That was a bunch of 6th graders were getting picked on by bullies.
Oh, yeah.
So they hired a bunch of 7th graders to protect them. And it was the Magnificent 7th graders.
Yes.
Dude, 7 samurai sat in a middle school.
And they whip them, and they end up, they end up bringing the whole school together.
I thought that was perfect. Great.
We were ahead of the whole.
I remember it. That was like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
We were ahead of the whole bullying curve before people cared about it. Yeah, maybe its time is coming. Maybe I'll do it as a graphic novel.
Hey Ben, look in the comments. Let's steal that idea from Billy and then not give him any credit. We'll act like. I mean, I don't think there's any. No one will know. I muted my microphone.
Do they?
No, I muted my mic. They can't hear me. So I mean, I think what we'll do that great tradition of Hollywood taking comic book people's ideas and then making them really and then crushing them.
Crushing them.
I can hear him.
Oh shit! Oh, sorry. Mute. Oh, hey guys.
So, hey, what's up? Hey.
Good idea, too.
I mean, I could edit it out for a small cut. I mean, I don't know. You know.
All right, Tom. What wine are you drinking?
I'm usually, I usually am drinking like a GSM. This is the Greek restaurant down in the neighborhood from us. They're having a tough time.
Nah.
And I don't really like the Greek red, but the guy was so sad on the street when I picked up some to-go Greek food.
Oh.
I mean, he just had the hang-doggest looking look on his face. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy something at the Greek restaurant that I do not need. Just as for joie de vivre, guys, you know?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important. We've been doing the same. We've been supporting the local restaurants and stuff. We did it today. We picked up some crepes and things. But that's how I've been getting my booze, is I've been buying them from the restaurants I'm getting my food from. Which is actually nice. Yeah, I'm like, hey, we'll have this, that, and hey, what do you got for beer? Yeah, give me a six-pack of that. You give me a six-pack of that. We'll take a bottle of this. It's actually really convenient.
Yeah, the Cuban place we're eating tonight has great sangria. Like, I don't even like sangria, but we do it every time. It's great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can get smashed on sangria.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
So,
sangria is one of those ones that makes your face feels hot. Yeah. A little way in, you're just like, what happened? Why is my face all hot?
Now, how far away do you guys live from one another?
Yeah.
Ben has I'm pointing at his house. Can you see?
Oh yeah, there you
go.
Ben has the high territory to the high ground to the east of me. We could he's in a position where not that far, but we could never take it really by force if we had to.
You'd never make it.
No.
Right, it's all uphill. You're done.
He's basically like an Italian, like a Italian old, northern Italian fortress city up there. Yeah.
Nice.
The Count of Monte Cristo. You can't attack uphill.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get to win if you have the high ground. I learned that from Star Wars. Like, Star Wars taught me everything.
Hey, did I tell you? I sent a note to Ben to Mark Hamill.
Yes.
Who he wrote back, which was cool.
What?
Yeah.
What? Oh God.
Well, we did some dumb like Reno 911 promotional stuff. We came out on May the 4th, so there was like a But I sent a Mark Hamill, who's one of the coolest dudes, and has always been sort of vocally supportive of. Weirdly, Ben, you met Hamill, and wasn't he a fan of The State?
He was a fan of The State. He said he and his son used to get high in their garage and watch The State. I met him doing a pilot for VH1, just to date myself there.
Wow.
Yeah, and he said he was a fan of The State. Him and his kid used to watch it together, which is pretty fucking cool.
That's pretty cool.
I know where the genesis of his son smoking grass with him or taking grass with him in the garage is that. I don't know if we had this conversation, but in 1987, I worked at the Palladium.
Oh, wow.
In the city. I had one of my friends come up to me and said, my boss needs a blonde busboy. Do you need a job? And I'm like, yeah, I need a job. I had blonde hair then, apparently. It's not blonde anymore. So I went and I met with Steve Rebell, and he was the sweetest guy in the world.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Yeah, and Mike Myers nailed him and he was just such a sweet guy. So he's like, yeah, you got the job when you walked in. Greg said you're a good guy, so you're in. So, but because I was the only busboy, a barback, I started as barback. I was the only barback that didn't want to be the next Mel Gibson because everyone else was actors and stuff. And I worked that I became a busboy, and then I moved up to the Michael Todd room, which was the room with all the celebrities and stuff. So I had to watch the celebrities and ask whatever they needed, Mm-hmm. But it was a Sunday night in 1987, and I think it was Mark Hamill's son's 5th birthday. And he threw his son's a 5th birthday party at the Palladium, and it started like 11 o'clock at night. And I'm like, and I met him, and he was really cool.
That's a power move.
But I got to be like, do you need any help? And like that, and just thank you for your work, and he was the nicest guy. But I'm like, I'm going to have my son's 5th birthday party at the Palladium. And I think I mentioned something like that to Debbie, and she's like, yeah, absolutely not.
So, hey, Tucci, that's interesting. Jenny worked for the Studio 54 guys, too. Jenny did room service at one of their hotels.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, but Rubel was not allowed because they'd been busted for, was it the Tunnel or the which one? Limelight?
I think it was Studio 54 got busted.
Somebody got busted by the feds, so they couldn't have a liquor license at all. So if you got room service at Steve Rubel's hotel, the room service, the actual kids had to go like to a liquor store and just buy stuff and bring it back because they just had to like go to the liquor store in Times Square and then bring it back because they could never have a license again.
Jeez.
Wow. Yeah, they had crazy stuff. He was nuts. I mean, him and his partner, he had another partner, my other boss, I forget. But they were just great guys. You know, they were loving it. You could tell. And they were really nice. And, you know, none of that hoity-toity stuff or up, you know, they weren't beneath, you know, like you were beneath them. They just loved it. And they really enjoyed it.
I think, Billy, the reason why is they were on tons of drugs, right?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
I mean, of course they loved everybody.
Yeah, I remember I was the only person not on drugs, and I should have been because at one point I was sweet. I ran into Second Street Marble. I ran into Thomas Lennon at the Renaissance Fair a couple of years ago. Super freaking cool.
Cool dude.
So were you at Ren Faire as an elf or something, Tom, or a knight?
Tucci, why was the first thing you said elf?
Because of the movie 16 Again with your elf ears and all.
Okay, that's accurate. I get it.
Come on, that's pretty great eating a cereal with them on. Yeah, that was great. But
no, we big Ben. We often get a squad together for the Renaissance Fair. We've got a pretty tight Ren Faire squad. I've been pitching for years, and Ben, I think you're willing to do it when we do it, right? We're going to go 1 year as the Knights of the Round Table with the.
Oh
yeah.
Don't you think that would blow people's minds?
People's minds. People would be very happy.
Would they, or did they take it really seriously that you're insulting them? Like it's.
You don't get the spirit of the Ren Faire, Tucci. You're too Comic-Con.
You don't. Yeah.
The Ren Faire. There is so much joie de vivre.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's literally nothing but joie de vivre.
I think the 9th time you had to recite Knights Who Say Knee, you'd be sort of questioning your choice of outfit.
Oh,
like it would start to wear on you after a few hours.
So Robin ran away. Yeah. I still stand by that it's a good idea, and I think we should do it.
I think it's a great idea. You'll have fun. You know, because you can't dress as Darth Helmet at Star Wars Celebration. You can, but you will be shunned. They will not like that.
Hey, guys, can I ask everybody privately? I'll turn off my mic so nobody can hear me. Has anybody seen Spaceballs lately?
No.
I know I saw
it. It's been about 4 years.
I got it on Laserdisc.
I really wanted to love it.
So you watched it recently then?
I watched it pretty recently, yeah.
It doesn't hold up?
What was your take on it?
My take was, wow, this was a weird one, man.
We are combing the desert. I remember that.
I remember that with the baby.
We are combing the desert. We ain't found shit. The guys with the big afro. I remember that joke. I mean, that's the only joke I remember from that movie.
There's a ton of shit in it that we don't do anymore.
I'm surrounded by assholes.
I got to tell you, I mean, I watched the 1989 Batman not too long ago, and unlike Batman Returns, the second one, I don't think it holds up. I was really disappointed. You know, you love the idea of when you're a kid, you know, when you're a kid. When we were younger, we went to go see it in college, and I loved it. And this is just, I don't know, him coming down with the bat jet, and the Joker pulls out a long pistol.
Oh, wait, which one are you talking about? The Batman movie?
The Batman
1964.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
1989.
I feel like we should spend a couple hours on. Hey Ben, should we go backwards and talk about the Joker and Ben Garant for a second?
Yes, dude.
Yeah, well, I agree about that Batman movie. Doesn't Batman uses like a gun in that movie? He tries to shoot the Joker in the middle of the street with his jet. It's very strange.
He does, yeah.
The jet has machine guns.
Has machine guns.
So does the vehicle. It cuts out the entrance for the Batmobile to drive through.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Yeah, the Batmobile. The Batmobile pops out machine guns, and it cuts out a rectangle for the Batmobile to drive into the chemical factory.
Hey, would you grab me some of the good Batman figures, the really good ones?
And then And what about the scene where then he's got this armored Batmobile with machine guns, and the Joker's henchmen are chasing
Give me the Joker.
in two 1974 Dodge Darts, and he's running away from them.
Yeah.
Like, why is he running away from them? Remember that he was.
Okay, but that's a pretty awesome choice of car, guys.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, indeed, they were Stingers or what were they called? Swingers, Stingers.
So wait, did people feel like? And I'll be honest, it's been a little bit like that. The Michael Keaton. It went Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, Clooney. No.
Yeah.
Did I flip it?
No,
Yep.
you got it right.
No, you got it right.
Okay.
Well, Adam West, Michael Keaton.
Oh, please, guys, please. I'm Chief O'Hara in the new remakes.
That's right.
Yeah.
I said that.
But we're going to talk about Ben and the Joker. This is, I think, going to be kind of.
Well, I met Burt Ward. When I was a little kid, Burt Ward came to our school and told us to not do drugs. And then he said that he was going to be with the real Batmobile at the Oldsmobile, and this was in Nashville, Tennessee. And so, and I was a huge. I love Burt Ward. I was a big Robin fan. And so I went and made my dad go. My dad was not thrilled to be driving to Nashville, an hour away, to meet Burt Ward, and so we went in, and Burt Ward was sitting. There was nobody in there. I was the only one in the place. And so he was sitting at like a card table waiting, and he charged me $5 for an autograph. And I was wearing my brother's galoshes, and he said, "Where'd you get those galoshes? Welfare?" And I was like 7.
Wow.
And it really altered who I was. I mean, my parents didn't get shot in front of me, but it was a similar to who I was as a person.
Pretty close.
I went the other direction. Yeah.
Well, his died in the trapeze accident, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true.
So he was probably. I mean, he was carny, folks. So he probably had that. You know,
he was carny. He was bad seed at the beginning. That's true.
Nice little Caesar. Yes.
Oh, there you see. That's the real.
Nice.
That's the gist.
I can see the stash in all of them.
Yeah, I know. You can see the mustache.
Is the mustache? Is it?
It's there.
In?
It's there.
It is. And it's covered over.
Nice. Well, just a quick thing from our last conversation, Tom. Speaking of mustaches and Ren Faire, it was 82 years ago today that The Adventures of Robin Hood was released.
Whoa.
Day.
Wow.
I mean, that's crazy.
That's a great fucking movie.
It's my favorite movie of all time. It really is.
That dude is such a badass, man.
He's so cool in it. Marches right. Scene 2, he marches right into the Basil Rathbone's castle. And it's just like, fuck you guys. I'm going to kill all of you. Like,
can I ask a stupid question? How old was he when he died? He was not that old, right? Oh, shit.
Yeah, he was 28 when he made it. And I think he was 51, if that.
When he died?
57,
yeah.
58.
Oh, wow.
I think he died in 58, maybe.
And he was 51 years old?
He retired. He lived in
Jamaica. No, I thought he lived on an island off Mallorca. Palma de Mallorca?
Sick for years and died of like syphilis and 80 other different things.
Yeah, cirrhosis.
His book, have you read his book?
My Wicked Ways. It's the best.
Right. Inspiring. It's an inspiring piece of work. It's so cool.
You almost wonder, can it all be true? There's so much crazy shit in that book. But I think it is.
I think so too. Like
Barry
Moore's body from the morgue.
He propped up his dead body in the hallway in his house as a goof.
Fucking great.
That's the best goof ever.
He stole his dead friend's corpse, put it back into the other house where people were going to show up as a goof.
So fucking wonderful.
And then we got Weekend at Bernie's.
That dude gave 0 Fs.
No, yep.
Yeah.
Next time I come to LA, I want to get drunk at his grave. Just
I think it's
arrested.
Is he buried here or is he buried in Palma de Mallorca?
No, he's in Forest Lawn, I think.
He is.
Yeah.
That would be a pilgrimage.
Google Internet.
Yeah. And it's just because he deserves more than his last film being Cuban Rebel Girls.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that was his last film. So,
you ever see The Sun Also Rises with him? And he's not the star. It's like Tyrone Power is the star. but he plays basically like himself in that one.
No,
it's his last like good movie, and he's like this old, kind of jaded like Englishman living in another country. It's really great.
Hey Ben, he's like an old Englishman, but we know now that he was 1 year older than us when he died. Is that accurate?
I think he was like 43 when he made it. I think he was like,
wow. I'm just checking. Hang on.
Yeah, check.
He died. Yeah, pretty
he
young.
was 3 years younger than me when he died. And I just started living, fellas.
10 lives. Fucking, he's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that guy.
He died 1959 at the age of 50.
50.
50.
Yeah, at the age of 50.
Life's so short, gentlemen.
He died in
I tell
Vancouver.
you.
What, was he shooting a movie or something? Or
He had a heart attack in Vancouver. No, Ben, yeah, 100%. He's in Forest Lawn. Yep.
Yeah. He's in the area where Disney is. Disney is not Frozen. Disney is Disney and Bogey and Errol Flynn are all in the same little like garden area.
It's just Walt Disney's brain isn't in his corpse.
No, they're keeping that alive in space.
Yes,
I believe they just gave it to Taika Waititi as just a present.
They just gave it to him. They're like, here, we want you to.
Thank you, everything you've done for the franchise. We had this brain. We didn't know what to do with it.
Please take this.
We hope you don't already have one like this.
We'd really like it if you direct the next Star Wars. Thank you.
Yeah, so here's a brain. Thanks so much.
Here's a brain.
God, we're trying to get Rory Flynn on the show.
Would that be the grandchild?
Yeah. She also has a book.
Oh,
she's in charge of his estate.
Yeah, 50.
Yeah.
Woo!
What a shame. Yeah.
Did you hear back from her, or she's doing the background check on us?
Yeah, I think she's checking on the show to make sure that we're not a bunch of a-holes.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Then what are you going to do then?
Yeah, I know. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, we had you guys on. We're here to talk about you guys, talk about the show. But Ben, if you wouldn't mind, because we had Tom on. Thank you, Tom, for coming back and coming on originally. Could you guys let us in on how, like Ben, how you got coming from? Are you from Tennessee or something? Is that you? And then and then you end up making it to NYU. I don't know if is that where you guys met or before that, and how you guys met and how you guys came to be with the state and all. And
I'm from Tennessee. I wanted to do something. I didn't know what. It certainly wasn't be a screenwriter. Maybe an actor, maybe in a band, maybe a comedian. I went to NYU. I just wanted to get out of Tennessee and live in New York, basically, because that's where all of my heroes were, the Belushi and Aykroyd, and I just wanted to be in New York. I only applied to NYU. That was the only school, and I applied to NYU because in American Werewolf in London, David Naughton has an NYU shirt. And then later, when he has sex with that terrific nurse, she comes out and she's naked except for an NYU shirt.
Oh my God.
So that was the only one I wrote to. And so I got in acting scholarship, and I met Tom within the first month, I think. A kid named Todd Hollebeck put up signs to start a sketch group, and my roommate wanted to go. And I went with my roommate, Bill Berg, and he didn't stay, but now it's been 32 years. I've been working with Tom, and he was at that first meeting. We all took it really, really fucking seriously. Everybody worked really hard. Everybody was super competitive at sketch comedy, which is really weird. Like that combination, I bet we were the only 11 people in the world who were 17 and super fucking serious about sketch comedy. But
I often say when people ask, they're like, what was our attitude like? Honestly, because we were like weirdly a pretty angry. We had a lot of fun and we had fun times and stuff. But as a group, I feel like we very much viewed ourselves as the Clash, and everything else was Wham.
In comedy,
yeah, and we were just going to be the Clash.
It was on SNL, like that. We hated SNL with a passion. We were going to like take down these posers and Yeah, our stuff was really dark. I was like, I found the program of one of our shows, and it's like,
hang on,
fucking with the kids. It's like it ends with all of the characters in the whole sketch show going up on a bell tower with rifles and shooting people. And like, I was like, what the fuck? Like it was really like, and people loved it. Like, and people thought it was hilarious. Very, very fucking weird. Yeah, we took ourselves really seriously. Yeah, and so we did a sketch show, and then that turned into The State on MTV, and we started that like a year and a half after we graduated. I dropped out. I didn't graduate. And then The State broke up, and Tom and I, as The State was like sinking into a black hole, Tom and I and Michael Jan ended up being saddled with writing the State movie. We had a movie at Hollywood Picture Deal, and everybody else just sort of left. And so it was, I never worked with Tom during the State. We never wrote together. But when we were doing this movie deal at Hollywood Pictures, Tom and I and Mike Jan were the only ones remaining to sort of figure out a fucking Hollywood Pictures State movie. And so that's when we started writing together. And that's what started it. Similar work ethic, same sense of humor, and it's all very chance. It's all very happenstance.
How did The State come to be, though? How did you guys actually get on MTV with that show?
Everybody, we were like we did 4 years at NYU, and we did a sketch show like once a quarter, and they kicked us out of NYU after freshman year because they said to get funding or space, we had to be a club and let new people in every year. And we said, we don't want to do that. This is who we are. And that's it. And so then we would rent space in the city and do it. And like everybody did internships. Showalter did an internship at Ha, which became Comedy Central. Joe Latruglio did an internship at SNL. David Wayne did an internship at MTV. Everybody, we dragged people to our shows. And eventually that led to us working on You Wrote It, You Watch It, which was a terrible show that starred Jon Stewart. And the show got canceled in a year, but they liked us enough to give us a pilot. And so it was just like that. It's hard work. We just worked everywhere for free and invited people to come see our shows.
That's great. Now
this is the original name of the group.
Oh, nice. Who did that? Who did the art and everything?
That's done by Joe, right? Joe Trujillo. Yeah.
Hang on, let me zoom in on that. That's awesome.
Dude, that is pretty good.
That needs to be a shirt.
Dude, you know how much that would be such a collector's shirt if you make them up.
Jesus.
Nice. Look at that.
That's so
That's
cool.
Joe.
That's so cool.
Joe Trujillo.
April 19th and 20th.
Was it 1990?
1990, 30 years ago.
By the way, we've been together for a while, guys, and this is when we announced that we changed our name.
Wow.
It's like us. We changed our name.
Yeah. You kept all that, so we're off the park. 224 Waverly Place. Look at that, man.
That's awesome.
So now when you guys were working when you had, say your friend is an intern, are you able to get onto, say, like a Saturday Night Live and watch it live? Do you ever, like your friend who the intern, was you ever able to get you sneak in? You know,
I snuck in with David Wayne one time to SNL, and I can't remember what happened, but I feel like we might have gotten kicked out. But we were definitely, like, Joe was an intern there, maybe David was, and we were standing definitely in a place where we weren't supposed to be. This is pretty fascinating. Oh yeah, go ahead, Ben. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, being in a group with 11 people, we pissed off everybody. Like, everywhere you went, like with UCB and SNL and Mr. Show, like you always ran into somebody who said one of the State guys said something dicky about us. Like one of the State guys. Oh yeah, I heard you guys think you're funnier than us. Like in every fucking where you went.
Everywhere we fucking went, somebody had started a fight. Somebody had started a fight that we had to like sort out. I know Showalter said to somebody at SNL that we thought they sucked. And it was like, and then everywhere we went for like years, people were like, "Oh, you were the guys who think that SNL sucks." And I was like, "No, who said that?
Yeah,
we would never say that." This is the first and only ever handbook that we had.
Oh wow!
Oh,
yeah. This was written by
who designed that?
This is Joe did the artwork, but this was written. If you get it, Ben, do you have one of these?
I have a garage. My garage is full of shit, and I've just never gone through it.
But this is
almost everything.
So Michael Ian Black wrote a handbook,
nice,
for the group, and it shows you. I mean, if you ever thought that Michael Ian Black was like the most wonderful, smug asshole in the world,
right?
You got to read this. Section 1: Rehearsal rules and etiquette.
Oh wow! Wow!
Look at that douchey talk at the beginning. The new group rehearsal is a place for joy, frustration, triumph, setting your sights, and achieving your goals.
Oh, we were such assholes.
So douchey.
What is a rehearsal?
We were so douchey.
Of course, this question down below. Can I fart during rehearsal? Yes, you can, but only under specific conditions. When the farter has a lighter, alerts all of the others to the imminent fart and then lights the fart. When the farter announces his intention to fart and then vacates the immediate area to fart, or if the farter simply walks away without saying anything, farts and then comes back. It's bad taste to fart without alerting others. When the farter does not alert others to intentions, oh Jesus! This is back when the world we used to have time to do like whatever.
Yeah, how long did it take to write that handbook?
This is Michael Ian Black spent like a month on this.
And then he went to Kinko's and had it copied.
He went to a place like where you could get,
the Kinko's.
What if after rehearsing my skit, we discover it's not funny?
Oh, then what? Well, what can you tell? What?
Sometimes what looks good on paper doesn't look good on stage. It's nobody's fault. And if to blame yourself is to do a disservice not only to the group, but to the entire nation. If a skit isn't funny after it's been given a chance to be developed, that skit will be removed from the show in a process called cut.
And who determines the so-called cut? Who was the one that determines this?
We used to vote on everything. Even all the way to the end, all the way to the MTV show.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
General questions about the new group. What if a member isn't working out?
Oh, ooh, Jesus.
Unless you are a girl, chances are you'll work out fine. Written by Michael Ian Black. But if not, there is a process by which members are removed. It starts with subtle insults and snide remarks and works its way into full ostracization.
Oh.
Eventually, when the phone stops ringing, the unwanted member gets the idea and calls it quits on their own.
That's pretty.
The new group hates to do this to anybody, but it cannot sacrifice its high standards of quality.
All
over the years, the new group has had to throw out surprisingly few members, although personnel changes have been frequent.
Oh. Did anybody really? Was there ever a big breakup, like the blow up, like your skit's just not funny, Carl? You know, sorry. And Carl was like, "No, you guys don't know."
Every day, all day.
Oh, really?
All day, every day.
We used to fight all the time.
All the time. It's all we did.
So who led the pack? I mean, you got 11
I remember
members,
David
right?
once punched Kim Marino in the back. I remember Jan threw a chair at Marino. I remember Marino once punched a wall. Like, we took it really seriously.
Marino put his fist... When Marino found out that you and Mike Black were going to go on the road to be Ninja Turtles for a year, Ken Marino punched through the wall, which granted, it was like, it was like a drywall. It wasn't like concrete, but he did punch very hard and left a huge hole or dent somewhere at 721 Broadway, the Tisch building at NYU.
So Ben, you went on tour as a teenager.
And then David threw a couple punches.
Yeah, I remember when he punched Marino in the back. I did. I went on tour.
Yeah.
What is this Ninja Turtle thing? Yeah.
It's a sign, Billy. It's a sign. It's all coming
Ninja
together.
Turtle, like, you're not cool if you're not a Ninja Turtle.
That's exactly right.
All right, tell us, Ben, how did you and Michael become turtles, and which turtle were you?
I was Michelangelo.
That's with the samurai sword?
With the
nunchucks. He has nunchucks.
Oh my God, Billy.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
And then we never saw Ben again.
Stop embarrassing me, Billy.
So embarrassing. It was for the Pizza Hut Coming Out of Our Shells tour. And they toured, but they played like it was in 90 or 89. And so they played the Universal Amphitheater when they were in LA. Like they played big places and they sold them out. And it was all pre-recorded. All the voices were pre-recorded and the faces were animatronic. And it was Broadway dancers. And they would come out and they would play 5 songs. And then Shredder would come and kidnap April. And so they would have to fight Shredder. And then they would play 5 more songs. And so they realized when they were at Radio City Music Hall, which they sold out for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And then they were going to go on the road. And the company realized they needed people who could go and do promo ahead of the show, like radio, morning radio, and like go to schools and do public appearances on the local news.
The advance team
auditioned and got it. Like me and Mike, he was Raphael, and so it was just the 2 of us. We had these big coffins with the costumes in it, and one of us would be on camera pantomiming, and the other one would be doing a voice and doing the remote control. And so we would do the weather with the local weather guy. And then we would go to like a school with McGruff the crime dog and tell the kids not to do drugs. And then we would go to like a hospital, and then we would do a Make-A-Wish pizza party. And then we'd go to the next town. And we did it for 9 months. We went all over. Wow. Like it's like until recently, it was probably the best I was ever paid for anything.
I remember, I think the reason the state was so mad that you guys were leaving was twofold. One, we were losing 2 of the very signature members of the group, and we didn't know if they were going to come back.
Right.
And 2, I think somebody got a sense of how much money you were making.
It was great.
And we were so poor that it was just like, wow.
So is that why the guy who punched
all the
Michael in the back? Who punched?
Oh, so a lot of punches were thrown, chairs were thrown. David Wayne punched Jan. Ben, do you remember why? I don't remember what it was about, but it was definitely, holy crap, he's got it.
That is awesome.
Wow, that's it.
I want to know how much.
How did you control all the groupies?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, dude. What about that? Did you meet girls like, oh my God, my baby brother loves the Ninja Turtle.
They all ran up like, can you refill our soda?
Yeah, you like college girls and stuff, and
Did you eat pizza every day?
Yeah, to save money, yes. We would go to a pizza party, and it was Michael Black. He's the cheapest fucker on the planet.
Yeah.
So we would always say, why would we go to a restaurant? Like, we have all this pizza the kids didn't eat. And so we ate a lot of pizza. And it was Pizza Hut pizza, the best pizza.
Best pizza.
At the time.
Best. Good day.
Well, you've never been to Connecticut, guys.
No, it was that almost ripped apart the state. I mean, a lot of things almost ripped apart the state. Eventually, I really helped rip apart the state later. But
what did you got it? What did you?
That's when we went off. We'd been canceled off CBS, and then me, Ben, Mike Black, and Carrie, without really asking for permission or approval, we pitched a show to Comedy Central, which ended up being Viva Variety, which was really just me, Ben, Carrie, Black. And that was a really tough one for the state because like 4 of us moved on to something else. When there was nothing going on, but it was.
We had nothing going on.
Yeah,
and a couple of us were already in LA at that time, so I can't.
I know it was. It was weird, but I always point out. If you want to know what the state was like, watch Metallica's documentary, Some Kind of Monster. Mm-hmm. It's like, for me, it is exactly the experience of being in the state. Exactly. We could be mean. We could be very supportive, and we could be mean.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, everyone hated you in Hollywood. All the other comics and stuff. You talk smack about other people.
They were jealous.
I'm gonna quickly show you a shot of me and Ben. That this is our brand new promotional photo. Give me 2 seconds here, guys. Talk amongst yourselves.
Let's keep an awkward silence. It's
no. Keep talking amongst yourselves. I don't think we ever got to the fact that Ben owns every Joker comic that's ever existed.
No, we didn't. You have all of them, right, Ben? All of them.
I have all of them.
Every Joker book.
I have all of them. Is the answer. I have all of them. I stopped 2 years ago, and I was like cutoff point because I'm now at the point where if I buy the ones after the 75th anniversary, they're not going to be worth any more in 25 years. But before the 75th anniversary, I have all of them, including like weird foreign ones. I'm sure there's some weird Mexican ones I don't have, but
crazy.
So please take us on a tour of your house.
What are your thoughts on the Joker's new girlfriend punchline? Or have you been paying attention?
I have not seen her. Who is this now?
Is this Harley? Has a punchline?
No, Harley Quinn is not with the Joker anymore, and the Joker has a new girlfriend named Punchline. Like she's also not right. But yeah,
she's a brunette.
How original. Sorry.
Yeah, she's it's so crazy too because they talked about her and then she was supposed to come out, but then the COVID hit and they paused all the comic books coming out, so everybody's just waiting for this Punchline book to come out. It hadn't came out yet.
Harley Quinn was to me such a great Mark Hamill Joker side piece.
Yeah.
Like Mark Hamill really made that work. Like
Paul Dini definitely did a great job creating her, like for sure.
Because it wasn't like the crazy, totally psychotic 90s Joker, but it wasn't like the silly 60s Joker. It was like very specific that Gotham, that era, that Paul Dini Joker, I totally buy having a Harley Quinn, but none of the other Jokers don't seem like Dayton types.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Especially the movie.
The movie's rough. The movie's rough.
Wait, the Harley Quinn movie? Which one? Birds of Prey?
Birds of Prey.
I did not see it.
I didn't see it either.
What's the feedback on it?
It's great.
It's great.
Jimmy, it's great. That's our friend.
Oh, our friend Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy.
Jimmy Palmiotti. I was like,
her own character, him and Amanda Connor, and we, so Nile's like, when we had Jimmy, he's like, oh no, it's great, Jimmy. You know, Jimmy had nothing to do with the movie, but it's a little rough, huh?
Yes,
it was a little rough. It was a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. I recommend you watch it though. I mean, it's not a bad movie to take home.
Guys, Ben and I just this last week we finally got new photos for like our screenwriting work and stuff like that. Can I get your feedback on what you think of our brand new photo?
Oh my God! Wait a minute!
What?
Rip Taylor.
That's hilarious.
That is a wonderful picture, Tom.
Here's the other thing about it. This is one of these things found in the bin, and I was like, no recollection of this ever happening, but I guess it did. It was when we shot that bit in Vegas, yeah?
It was Johnny Blue Jeans' How to Survive in Vegas on $1.79.
Why were you a Hare Krishna?
I was a Hare Krishna. It was a fake variety act called the Pinata Monks of Kundun.
Yes. And come on.
And so they do like this martial arts stuff, and then you put a blindfold on them, and one of them turns in a circle and tries to hit a pinata that the other one don't.
That's awesome. That was the same show where we did $1 Million Dreidel.
Yes.
With David Cassidy.
David Cassidy
came in and we did $1 Million Dreidel.
I just want to say, does that picture, the sign in the background, does it say no sniveling?
It's exactly what it says.
You got anything with Paul Lind?
How is he?
Sniveling.
I believe it says that backstage at the Flamingo Vegas. That's what it says on the wall before you go on stage.
Nice.
Yeah, I think Rip Taylor. Well, Rip Taylor passed away recently, right?
Just recently, yeah.
How was he?
He was a goddamn delight.
Yeah, he was exactly what you expect.
Remember, we were like, hey, we want to do a bit. That was a weird show. We did a couple Vegas. Mm-hmm. That show we did called Viva Variety. If you never saw it, it's kind of hard to find. But it was as if you like just landed in Europe with jet lag and you were watching some European like game show, You know, like sort of like Sábado Gigante or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So the Vegas episodes, yeah, we did Johnny Blue Jeans Vegas on, was it 79 cents a day or something? It was less than it was less than $1.
Yeah, and he ran into Rip Taylor in that piece.
And he's like, Blue Jeans, and Rip Taylor shows him how you can eat food from when people put their room service trays outside the door. He's like, sometimes there's still fries. It was amazing. And he was like, the longer you hang around in show business, you tend to find that like the people that hang around are delights.
He was a delight.
Yeah.
Speaking of Batman, someone here got to kiss one of the cat women on Viva Variety.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was interesting. Eartha Kitt did a bit with us. Ben wrote a song. Ben got nominated for an Emmy, actually, for Viva Variety because for almost every single episode, not every, but very close, he wrote an original song for like almost all of them.
So much fun.
Oh, cool.
And I did a number with Charles Durning. Do you remember what the Eartha Kitt number was? It was sort of like Cabaret, or it was
it was like Cabaret, and she came on, and it was sort of like Casablanca.
Yes,
she was your old lover who like left you in Paris years ago, like with no explanation.
Didn't we also used to have a right? And didn't we also used to have a variety show together?
Yes,
or something?
You used to have a variety show with Eartha Kitt. That was it. Yeah.
And then she came back as my old flame
in the rehearsal.
In the rehearsal, for no reason, Eartha Kitt kissed me pretty hard on the mouth.
Really?
And that's one of those times, you know, you feel like, if you ever like jumped into a river and you just feel very alive for a second.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
It was pretty neat.
Pretty fucking
did she
cool.
purr while she did it?
She probably did. She was pretty cool, man.
She purred a couple of times. It was pretty great.
Yeah.
She was also she's got to be 30-ish years older than us, right? Or
I think she was 70 at the time.
Yeah.
She had a show at the Carlisle Room in New York.
Yeah.
And I think it was just like her with the jazz combo.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went to see it, and it was unbelievably great. It was so good. It's like one of the sexiest things I've ever seen, and it was a 70-year-old woman standing at a piano. Yeah. It was so great.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So cool.
Awesome.
We'll have to see if one of our producers, Frank Amazing, can get some video footage of that.
Well, I mean, here's what's weird.
She did our show. She was so nice.
Adam West did a great Johnny Blue Jeans Celebrity Daydream. We used to have these weird, when we didn't know exactly what to do with somebody, Johnny Blue Jeans, played by Michael Ian Black, we'd be like, Johnny, hey, Johnny, what are you doing? Johnny, what are you doing? And then he'd be daydreaming. And then the one with him and Adam West, we did one with Dick Clark. We did one with, Breakfast Club, Ali Sheedy. We did a bunch of them. And Ben, do you remember the premise of the Adam West one?
Dick Clark's was great. Dick Clark. So Johnny Blue Jeans is daydreaming, and you zoom into his head, and then you zoom out, and Johnny Blue Jeans is dressed as Luke Skywalker in a swamp. And yes, and Dick Clark came out and taught him how to use a lightsaber. Like that was his celebrity daydream.
I remember that we shot that with Dick Clark, you know, in New York at the studio where we shot everything. Mm-hmm. And it was the day that the New York State lottery had rolled up to, like, for the first time ever, it hit like $50 million or $100 million. And Dick Clark was standing there and he had these lottery tickets. And I was like, seriously, Dick Clark? I was like, Dick Clark was at the time worth $500 million anyway. He was Dick Clark. And he was standing with these lottery tickets, and he's like, "Oh, the wife makes me buy them." You know, I mean, she made me buy them. And I was like, and I remember thinking, like, Dick Clark, what happens if you win the New York State $100 million lottery? What are you going to do? You can't be like, "Hey, I'm Dick Clark, and I just won another $100 million." Yeah,
it's like it's for my hobby fund, you know.
Yeah. He was looking at him. And he was like, "Oh, the wife, she makes me buy them."
He probably just takes all that money and puts it in his money room.
Mm-hmm.
His Scrooge McDuck room.
Yeah, like he's like, more money for the money room.
Such a waste.
Yeah,
makes great toilet paper, anyways.
Dude, that's crazy. Man, can we discuss some of the stuff you guys have coming up? Like, or can I ask what happened with action number 1? I wanted to ask about that last time.
They made it. They made it. A great director named Alex Fernie, who's a Convoy from UCB. He's really, really smart guy.
Kind of a genius, that dude. He's really interesting. Yeah.
And he directed it, and it is done. And the company went under. The company that produced it just went tits up, and it is gone. And so it is sitting on a vault somewhere with, I'm sure, a lot of different people fighting over who own it. But it's good. Rob Hubel plays Nick Cage in it.
I was going to ask.
Is unbelievable. He's
amazing.
I was going to ask why y'all just didn't get Nick Cage.
No, we did.
It. He said he would do it, but he didn't want to play himself.
What we were told at the time was that he actually read it and kind of loved it. Oh, cool. But he was like, it gets a little weird for me to literally be me in. And we were like, please, and then but I remember that he read it and loved it, and was like, this is hilarious. Yeah.
Isn't it almost like a true story? Like, didn't he really have like one of his Superman comics stolen from him?
Yeah. The true story is, he had Action #1 stolen from him, and then it's the fictional like Reservoir Dogs story of that heist. And so it's a bunch of nerds. Like some of them are on the Geek Squad, and that's how they get in. Like it's like a Reservoir Dog with nerds. And the climax is at Comic-Con. The climax, they agree to make the swap, the briefcase for the comic book at Comic-Con. And so the Reservoir Dog guys all dress up as stormtroopers so that they can get lost in the crowd.
Nice.
It turned out great. It's really funny.
It's a cool movie. And yeah, I actually literally don't know who owns that either, which is a weird one.
The company went folded. The company went under.
I actually, speaking of, I asked Viacom specifically this year, as high up the chain as I could get. I was like, hey guys, just put out Viva Variety streaming. Like in an era when everybody's at home, everybody would like to see some cool stuff they haven't seen. I was like, just put it out. Literally go down into the thing, send the kid down to the library, get it out. There were awesome shows, and you'll never find them.
Somebody recently tweeted out, and I hadn't seen it in 25 years, the Jim Varney sketch that he did on
The Importance of Being Earnest. That's Jim's like cousin or nephew is his biographer. So he's written like the Jim Varney biography. And then he did post, that was a Ben Garant sketch, the Let's Do the Importance of Being Earnest with Jim Varney. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure somebody who's watching can put it up because it exists now on the internet, I think.
Yeah, is TJ in or Frank's in?
Frank Amazing's in.
Frank Amazing's in.
We'll get the link up there.
Johnny Belugi's up, but yeah, Jim Varney came in. I remember when Jim Varney came in, he was the only person I'd ever met.
He's super nice.
He was so nice, and he's the only person I'd ever met who smoked as much as me.
Oh, really? He's
yeah, at the time.
There you go.
How many packs a day?
That was back when you could smoke on stage between shots.
Absolutely, and we did. Yeah.
Those were the days, man.
Yeah.
I was born, this isn't my time. I need to go back.
Yeah. I mean,
I go back, right? Like my secretary comes by, I'm like, how's the morning going, sweetie? I'm going to have 2 T-bone steaks and a glass of scotch and a pack of cigarettes for lunch.
There you go.
That's what I need.
And you drink your dinner.
And wait, guys, just to check, how old was Errol Flynn when he died again?
50 years old.
Yeah.
50.
Yeah. Well, we went to after Christmas, in between Christmas and New York, we went to the city for a night, Debbie and I. And we went to we love the St. Regis Hotel that has the Old King Cole bar,
Yeah.
Love that. And we were like, the last time we were in here, we were smoking cigars.
Yeah.
2002. And you were allowed to smoke in bars in the city. I remember we were like, and they had, women with cigars and selling cigars at the St. Regis Hotel at the bar. And boy, if things change, my gosh, crazy.
This is real quickly. That's me and Ken Marino. And of course, Rebecca Gayhart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and we were at Ivana Trump's book signing in Midtown, and this was the day in New York City that they banned smoking indoors.
Oh, really? So you got it like, let's do it like the left.
Yeah, and so we were being, believe it or not, as the state, we were trying to be impossible, which we always did. And we made the New York Post from smoking indoors on smoking ban day.
Nice.
Rebels.
We always had to do something annoying. Ben, tell the story of the 21 Club.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to tell it. You don't have to tell it, but it's an awesome story.
I had to apologize to William Morris Agency.
I forgot.
They made me march in and apologize to the William Morris.
Did you have to apologize in person?
Yes. They made me go. Jim Dixon made me go. Like, I put on a fucking suit. Like, so we were. They had a party. What was the party for? Was it? It was
the William Morris like fall television party at the 21 Club. Which, if you don't know the 21 Club, if you remember Rear Window when Grace Kelly brings him dinner one night, she's like, if Johnny can't go to the 21 Club, the 21 Club will come to Johnny. So it's like so exclusive.
Super old school.
A hamburger, even in the 80s and 90s, a hamburger was like $30. The place is insane.
It was a speakeasy during Prohibition.
Yeah,
and so we were there. The first thing we did, I was drinking gin, which I don't drink anymore. And the first thing we did was we all took off our pants. Yeah. And we were all standing in the middle with our pants off.
Oh, actually, Ben, the first thing that I did was I stole Regis Philbin's name tag.
Oh, man.
Just to be horrible. We walked in and they were like, pick up your name tag from this rack. And I was like, if you give me the option, I'm taking Regis Philbin. Why did you should have someone guarding these name tags because I'm like 22 and we were probably already wasted when we arrived.
Yeah, we must have. We drank all day back then.
So I took Regis Philbin's name tag. Then we
all took off our pants.
Yep.
And we were all standing and having conversation and drinking gin and tonics with our pants off.
Yep.
Until one of the waiters wore fucking tuxedos and they walked up to us and they said, "Gentlemen, please." And so we all put our pants back on. And then on the way out the door, my thoughts, this was my train of thought through a lot of gin and tonics that were free, was I think I remember vaguely hearing that Harpo Marx stole a painting here.
Yes.
I should do that.
I think that's what he did. That's a true story. He did, I think.
I took a painting of a horse off the wall and stuck it down my pants. And at the door, I was stopped by two gentlemen in tuxedos. And they said, "Sir, we will have you arrested if you do not leave." And so I gave them back the picture and left. And then the next day, I had to apologize to the William Morris Agency.
So the word got out that
we were assholes.
One of their fellows tried to steal a painting from the 21 Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least up until that, we had been horrible the entire time. I mean, it was literally like when the Blues Brothers go to Chez Paul, and it was like, how horrible can we be?
Yeah, how much for the little girl? How much for the women?
The girls, buy all of them. Yeah.
I think it's wrong glass, sir. And he's like,
I wonder if anybody else saw y'all standing there without pants and be like, man, all right, I guess this is how
I know, right? Going. It's like the whole sheep thing.
They're like, oh, maybe
pants off.
Maybe
everybody was mad. This is what it tells you about the state at that time in our lives. Everybody was mad at us, and we were loving it a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
We definitely were like just loving the. I mean, you got to keep in mind that Ben at the time weighed probably 91 pounds. He looked like if Sid Vicious had lost the baby weight, that's what Ben actually looked like.
Oh, did he have that spiky hair and everything?
Yeah, I either had a shaved head or like I had green hair for a while. I was like a 80s era like punk guy. I was one of those kids. I was one of those kids that they now in New York sell pictures of kids like that on the subway from the 80s.
Yeah.
I was like one of those assholes. That was me. Listen to the Cramps, giving everybody the bird.
Oh man, Ben wore the same Cramps t-shirt. I think it was the same Cramps t-shirt. Bad music for bad people.
Yeah.
I feel like for many, many, many years that I knew him.
I think I only had about 5 t-shirts.
Well, I know the ones you had. You had You Need a Medical Supply. You had the Cramps, Bad Music for Bad People. You had
recently found a new You Need a Medical Supply shirt and gave it to me. I didn't know they still made them. I was very happy about that.
Yeah, I got that at that. There's an amazing store here in the San Fernando Valley called Halloween Town.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like
and if you need like 8 options of Guillermo del Toro T-shirts, they have them.
Nice.
Tom,
if you're like, yeah.
When I met Tom, on the other hand, he wore cowboy boots, suit jackets, a bow tie.
Yep.
And because he'd been horribly mugged freshman year, he had an eye patch.
Yeah.
And so that was his look freshman year. Like suit, boots, like he looked like somebody you don't fuck with. Like he looked like a weird
oil tycoon.
Like a Remington Steele or a heart-to-heart villain. You know, like
an Errol Flynn character.
Yeah, he looked like an Errol Flynn guy.
I look like somebody that Errol Flynn just punched really hard.
Tom, did you ever go with the ascot?
I know I own one for sure.
Oh, that's great.
I think I showed you guys. You saw the shot last time, right? That's me in my NYU tie.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, that's when it had basically healed all the way.
Man, yeah, you lucked out with that one. Well, now you talked that Jenny worked at the hotels for the. Jenny went to it. Did she go to NYU too? Was she in the city?
No. Jenny moved to New York.
There you go.
Nice.
Hey.
Did you almost get arrested that night too?
Probably.
Well,
hey, Jenny. What was the Steve Rebell hotel you worked at? Morgan's.
Oh, Morgan's, yeah.
Morgan's. And didn't you go work at a Steve Rebell like private party on Long Island where they gave everyone like a lobster covered in diamonds or something?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
I ran into a friend who still works at the hotel. He's like, hey, I'm working a party at Steve's place. And, you know.
Steve had the Long Island place.
The people that were, there was no moon, it was really dark, and all the guests kind of lost interest, and so people working the party got to eat the lobsters. Oh, yeah.
They just had so many lobsters. Steve Rebell used to have parties on Long Island where they didn't know what to do with all the lobsters they had left over.
Jesus.
Because, well, by the way, all the guests were on cocaine. You don't need to eat a lobster when you're super high on blood.
Yeah,
that's true.
You don't want to look at a lobster.
No. Whoa. You're way too high for shellfish, bro. Whoa. Look at the other side of it. Whoa.
Ben, I was telling Tom last time he was on the show that I had a video camera. My roommate took the video camera out of the AV department at FIT. I went to the FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology, and I have about three 8-hour videotapes of me just filming FIT in New York City the summer of 1988 to January 1989. Just capturing that whole thing, like with the punkers and the girls and going to clubs and doing all, you know what I mean? And Macy's and walking around the city and everything like that. So you bring me back talking about that, times like that. I love it.
He ate a lot of soup. You ate
really
a lot of soup.
Oh, yeah, Nile. Well,
I digitized them for him, so I own them.
Well, that's we had.
I own the rights to your history.
I think people I think it's hard to explain how quickly Giuliani changed New York City. And when you try to explain the difference between Times Square in 1988 and Times Square like 10 years later, people think you're joking. People don't believe that it was, because you explain it feels like you grew up in like the Depression or something. You're like, yeah, there were junkies and hotels where you could buy heroin and
yes,
that's all true.
Nuts. Yeah, it was bad.
The idea of going to Times Square was like a joke. Like you wouldn't go to Times Square in the daytime. It was dangerous in the daytime in 1988.
Well, one thing that I'll say is that like anywhere I've been for the rest of my life, people are always like, oh, this area is a little like sketchy. You might be careful there. Or, like, oh, maybe don't go over here. Or, like maybe this is places, there's crimes and stuff. And I'm like, I lived in New York City in the 80s. There's nothing you can do to me ever that will scare me.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, until there's like literally there's nothing you can do. The streets were basically on fire. People were flipping over cars all day, every day.
All day long. Tompkins Square Park was on fire all the fucking time. Like,
and people would randomly punch you in the face almost any time. Like, bam! Like, we got knocked down. That was not the only time we got beat up. Remember, one night, me, Joe Latruglio, Todd Hollebeck, a bunch of the state were coming around the corner, and we got jumped by like 9 guys.
At Sweet 16, right in front of Sweet 16.
They knocked one of Joe Latruglio, lost half of a tooth. We just,
Even when you're in a group, you're not safe.
A group of 5 guys was not enough in the 80s in New York to be safe.
Well, Ben, I have to ask you. I asked Tom this last time. When you went to NYU, you weren't a Fiji, were you?
No,
we never went to the frats. Hardly ever. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
Oh no! I was surprised there were frats at NYU. They were there, but they weren't like. When I saw them, I was like, "Oh, there's frats here. That's weird."
Yeah, they were assholes.
I'll be honest, Tucci. I don't think I knew that there was a frat at NYU for like 3 years that I was at NYU.
All right. Well, everybody I meet who went to NYU around that time, like, were you a Fiji? Because we got in a huge brawl with them, and they gave me 10 stitches over my eye and broke my nose. And it was a big brawl. It was St. Patrick's Day, so all the guys would come up to FIT, where I went to school, where we had 8 girls to every guy, and half the guys were gay, so I had it made. I go either way. So,
whoa.
It's like a bento box.
Yeah.
What was that about?
You had a Freudian slip there.
So awkward. Yeah.
I missed it.
So anyway, they would come up. All the fraternities would come from NYU, and they would hand out flyers for the parties, and they had a St. Patty's Day party at the Fiji House, and it was off of 8th Street, off of Washington Square Park.
Yeah.
And what they didn't count on was all the girls came, but they brought their boyfriends with them, and the Fijis weren't happy. And it was bad. It was a brawl.
Hey, Tucci, do you know that, by the way, Fiji, which was right next to the main building at NYU, which is just right off of Washington Square Park, do you know that is where the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire happened?
No.
Main building.
No.
Main building of NYU. That was so the place that we would go for most of our classes was where the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire Factory, the worst disaster of the industrial age. That's where that happened.
Yeah, it was like 1912, and they
locked everybody in.
Yeah, and what happened? And they locked the doors.
Yep.
Because the women, they didn't want the women to take break. It was primarily women, and the 2 bosses, the 2 owners. When they realized it was a fire, they walked up to the roof, locked the door to the roof, walked over to the next building. They just took a step over.
What?
I didn't know. I forgot that's how. But
women burned to death. My friend Lisa's grandmother perished in that fire.
That's where we took, and in that building, that's where we took theater history.
Wow.
Was it haunted?
Supposed to be haunted as shit. Yeah.
Dude,
like,
how could it not be?
Yeah.
Well, we gotta.
Do you believe in ghosts? I'd say.
Do you believe in ghosts? What's up?
Yeah. Do you guys believe in ghosts?
Oh, we're big ghost guys. Yeah, I am. I think I know Ben is. I think. Yeah.
Eric, super quick. Like, so I'm Southern. So the answer, you don't have to ask a Southern person if they have a ghost story, because we do. So growing up, my grandparents' house off the Stones River National Battle Park, Civil War battle in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Live in a farmhouse. Everybody said that there was something in the kitchen. I never saw anything, but I heard some stuff. The carpet in the kitchen was green. It was like this tight green carpet on the kitchen floor. And I grew up as a baby and like pushed my cars around on the kitchen floor. And it wasn't until I was a teenager that I realized, like, you don't carpet a kitchen. Like, why does the kitchen have carpet? That's really gross and weird. Yeah. And so I asked my family, like my aunts and uncles, why is there carpet in the kitchen? And nobody would tell me. And then eventually my Aunt Nita told me that my grandmother made my grandfather put carpet in the kitchen so that she wouldn't have to listen to the chairs moving around at night.
Oh.
Ouch.
Oh my God.
I love that.
Scattered pictures.
Blah, blah,
Nothing better than a good ghost story. Actually, Billy, we've got that thing with Howie too. Once he gets that going, we've got the ghost hunt or whatever. I don't know where they're doing it. He's trying to get some penitentiary or whatever.
He's got a show, right? Howie's got the big ghost show. He's a big ghost hunter guy, or so. Is that him?
Yeah, he's friends with Jason Howes and stuff that does all the ghost hunting. Howie Noldishin.
Cool.
Yeah, he's a caricature artist and a comic book artist. It's great work.
Is he at Comic-Con usually?
He does attend Comic-Cons.
Would you find him in Artist Alley sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And he does caricatures?
He does amazing caricatures.
Hang on one second. I just want to see if this one is by him because I have one right here.
Oh, really?
You know,
his house is like a utility. It's just like
Rob Hubel, the guy from Human Giant, is he's doing a ghost. He does live ghost things on Instagram every once in a while. He's finding people with true first-person ghost stories, and he does like Instagram live with them. It's great. He's had some really, really good ones on, and some of it's just people randomly kind of calling in, and sometimes it's references of people who he's heard had good ghost stories. But it's a very good listen.
I saw a ghost in Billy's house.
Yeah, my house. Yeah.
Your house is haunted?
Yeah, my house is haunted. We live in an 1885 Victorian, so it's haunted. My brother, my oldest brother, was killed in a car accident. A drunk driver hit him when he was 17, and we think it's my brother. But a few years back, a family is parked in front of our house, and they're staring at our house. So we're like, "What? What? Can I help you?" I walked out, like, "Yeah, well." No, we're sorry. We don't mean to bother you, but we grew up in this house. This was our grandparents' house. So like, oh, come on in. You want to see it? Check it out. And so they came in, and the one guy says, he looks at the parlor and says, my grandfather died in that room. And then my wife, Debbie, goes, oh, I think we're familiar with him. I think we've met him. So like the crazy stuff that's happened, like you will be in the house and you will hear like someone takes a big china cabinet or a hutch of dishes and just tips it over and it slams. And the whole house shakes. Like a huge crash. And then did a painting fall up? Did the hutch fall down? What have happened? Nope. It's nothing. It's happened several times. And then we always see people, like I said, Nile's like,
and I was like, it was like a week later. I'm like, hey man, weird question. Your house haunted? And he's like, why? I'm like, well, I was going to take a leak, and I walked by. It's the parlor, right? By the first floor bathroom, Billy?
What?
That's the parlor where I saw him, right?
Yeah, the first floor bathroom.
I'm like, hey, I was like, Billy, where your cigars are and stuff? We got cigars like that room. I'm like, yeah, I saw like an old man in there or something. And he's like, yeah, dude. And stuff like that doesn't faze me.
I'm like, yeah, we got a ghost. We don't like to tell people because everyone hears. You'll hear like people walking upstairs. On the third, there's my studio here, the third floor. It's got 3 floors. And always Debbie and I's like nudges me and you hear like
fucking great. Wow.
It's a funny ghost,
Hey guys, I gotta bounce in a minute because I got some family stuff to do and we got homework and things here. But I thought I would wrap up then just to tie together at least several of the things we talked about. Comic-Con, comic art, Burt Ward. Ben's got something too. Something cool's coming, I bet. Oh, are these the Jokers? Oh, but this is Ollie at Comic-Con.
Hey,
nice,
awesome.
Now, what you got to know is that character was done with my son, but that was the outfit he was in. The actual Jenny made him. Hey, Ben, did we give that to Donnie yet?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Yeah.
Cool. Donnie has that.
And Robin.
Yeah, Jenny one day went to the dance supply store, and it turns out if you go to a dance store, you can make a full Burt Ward old school. Yeah.
Oh,
you need dance materials.
And now you pass it on to Ben's son?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Ben, are you going to get PTSD from the Burt Ward incident of 1976? Or
no, I had to cleanse myself, so I went as Burt Ward last Halloween party.
It's like wearing. you wear the skin of the animal that you killed to show.
I own the spirit now.
Do you have it there?
No.
Just send him a letter saying his dog food's horrible.
Oh, all the cheese.
Nice.
God love you.
What?
What?
Yep.
Come on.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
What?
Nice.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Ben,
Oh, look at
I bet if you keep doing that, I'll there's a catch me in the band. I was doing the Bob Dylan song that goes with that.
I just noticed that you have the Alex Ross Tango Joker in the background too. That's like my favorite. That's like my favorite painting by Alex Ross.
Ben, you changed my life, buddy. You helped change my life. Thank you.
Nice.
You know that.
Oh, nice.
Blevins, you know that painting's based off of, right?
No.
It's J.C. Leyendecker. It was a painting for the Saturday Evening Post, I believe, or Arrow Collar. It's a complete ripoff of it. Well, he gave him credit. It's an homage.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still gorgeous.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I love that painting. It's so cool.
Thank you, man. You helped change my life, buddy. Thank you so much buying those books.
Back in the day, I bought them on the newsstand when they came out.
Nice.
Well, we're bringing her back now, so she's live now on Indiegogo. So,
yeah,
she is.
Yeah, she Return of the Warrior. Maybe Frank Amazing could post that link, and it's doing great. We just passed. We passed one. We're closing in 162,000, and we start shipping it next month. The book looks fantastic. It's coming out great. I had to redo a whole bunch of pages because I just wasn't happy with them. So we redrew. We redrew about 25 pages because it just wasn't the she that I envisioned. So
I loved she. I'm a huge fan.
I love that book. And I have a finisher, and the finisher is doing graphite inks because I wanted to go with the pencils to color because I love that watercolor look to it. The way it prints, instead of the black, and I love inks, and it just wasn't working out, so we had to redo them. And now they look phenomenal.
Hey, Billy, stupid question: are you doing a she movie? Did we already talk about this?
We did. You're
not doing it.
No, I got to check the contract because our Mimi Gitlin, our producer, she had exercised the option and paid us half the option price. But I have to check the contract because I have all the addendums. And I checked for impertuity, if you remember, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
And I haven't found it, but I got to go through the original contract, and I just have a hard copy of it and send it to a lawyer buddy of mine or something. Because everyone asks me. I get emails all the time from people.
Such a cool movie, man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, so many like stories behind that.
Such a cool movie, man.
Tia Carrere, all that stuff.
I remember that.
Yep.
Attached for a while, right?
Well, I know you got to go, but you know what it's like when they. Because we had the option with her for a few years, and I'm like, I'm not renewing. Nothing's happening with this. She's not involving me in the project. And I'm like, I'm not renewing the option. So she basically said she's sorry, all that. She wants to make this film. She's lining up with Constantine, the finance company and all like that. And she sent us a huge check. So we're like, wow. So like, okay, I guess we're making a movie. You think they're going to pay that kind of money. And so, but I have to check it. I have to check to see that because I have my, like every 2 weeks, someone sends us, an email.
By the way, every 2 weeks I ask you. I can never remember the answer, but I feel like it was a very cool thing, man.
It needs to happen.
Yeah, and the new story now takes place 25 years after the original story. So now Anna is a mom. I've been with Debbie for 30 years, and she's never looked more beautiful to me. So I wanted to have a comic book character grows up, Right. So here she is now she's in her mid-40s. She's a mother. She has her 15-year-old daughter. Her warrior days are far behind her, and then it all comes back.
Hey, I'm going to go mute for a second. Hey, Ben, let's steal this from Tucci also, and we'll just call it.
Yeah, it's great.
I'll tell you what, I got a stupid idea. We get rid of the I, and we just make it regular she with an E.
Just with an E, yeah.
We just underthink this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna unmute now and go back to the chat. Tucci, that sounds awesome.
Oh, we'll make her,
doesn't it?
We'll make her Korean. Nobody will tell. Nobody will know.
Dude, I got to tell you, after watching what is it called? The Kingdom, the Korean samurai, the Korean zombie movie. I'm like, oh God,
I'm sorry, I've not seen it. Is it great?
It's brilliant.
It's great.
The Kingdom.
The Kingdom. It's on Netflix. It's unbelievable.
And it's like samurai swords and zombies.
Yeah, and Korean swords and zombies. And
sorry. Okay.
It's dubbed.
It's really fun.
Right, and it's not distracting that it's dubbed. It's good. But it's
good dub works sometimes.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Sometimes dubbing hides bad acting in a good way. In a lot of.
There's a fun thing, by the way. If you
Battle Royale, nice.
If you go to any of the watch any of the Reno 911 like movies or DVDs, mostly the movie, you can just set it to like Spanish or French. And if you ever want to just feel like you're a little bit high, listen to the Reno 911 with the Spanish track.
Nice.
Because the dude who's supposed to be me, he literally he's the most machismo man you've ever heard in your life. You're like, that's not Lieutenant Dangle. It's just so crazy. But it's me. But the dude you hear is just like, so my God, yeah, see.
Man, they could have got you to just do the voice, because didn't you do a whole bunch of Spanish commercials in the show?
We do usually. Why didn't we do that? We should have done that for the Quibi run. We did some really great, really stupid commercials. One that she is literally in.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you for that.
Now the whole noun thing. Like,
yeah.
Like,
now were you able to grab the she?
She's in it.
No.
I don't think you can
get it on because it's on the phone and stuff.
You can't literally. That's like they're very secure about stuff.
Yeah, man. And let's just say congratulations on the success of that. I mean, like, isn't it the #1 show that they have on there right now? Like, wasn't it? I think it was the #1 show.
People are very happy. It's great.
Yeah.
We've gotten so much good feedback. People are super psyched, and it was fun. It's the funnest season we've done. I remember we had a blast.
I remember reading the interview with the guy at Quibi, and he's like, "Man, like maybe this wasn't the best time, but to do this during the coronavirus, I thought this was everything wrong. I blame on the coronavirus." He's like, "But at least we got Reno. At least we got Reno 911."
Did Jeffrey say that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh.
If that's the main guy at Quibi, yeah.
Yeah, that article was like today or yesterday, wasn't
it? Yeah. He's like, thank God we got Reno 911.
Dude, it's freaking hilarious. I mean, I've watched it twice.
We had a lot of fun.
Dude, it was pretty good.
Now, let me ask though, like, it looks like you guys have more freedom having it on Quibi versus like when you were running on Comedy Central. Is that because it's like a subscription base, like the app?
Comedy Central was pretty good with us. Yeah. Comedy Central really let us be as evil or as weird as we wanted to be. Like, and Quibi the same. Like, it's the same guy. Doug Herzog was in charge of Comedy Central when we were there, and now he's in charge of Quibi, of comedy. And he said, if you come here, we won't give you any notes. And they didn't. They didn't give us any fucking notes. It was just none. It was great. They said, here's your money. Like, go. We can't wait to see it. And they didn't give us notes in the writing. They didn't give us notes in casting. They didn't give us notes in editorial. They just let us do it. It was unbelievably cool.
It was Jeffrey Katzenberger.
I got it. I'm just checking. Jeffrey Katzenberg. Yeah.
Katzenberg. Yeah. Sorry, Katzenberg.
So now, did they approach you guys to actually bring the show back?
Doug Herzog, that same guy, he called, and we had talked about doing Reno a couple of times over the decade, but he called and he said short form, which we thought, that actually kind of makes sense. They said 10-minute episodes, and we had a conversation, and then we thought a 10-minute Reno, that's not crazy. That kind of has a logic to it. And he brought us in and he said, we'll let you do your thing. We will not give you notes. And Doug, we trust because he's done that before. So
Doug's been Doug's like one of our major, like, he's like our, the Medici family. He's just our patron who keeps. He keeps, despite everything. And he was even around probably when we got our pants off at the 21 Club. He still has been really cool to us.
Yes.
Maybe he saw inspiration there. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe sometimes he just stands around and he's like, man, I don't need these pants. Then he thinks to you guys.
Now, I never got to ask this before, and I know you have to get going, Tom. What inspired Reno 911 and putting that all together?
Straight up accident. We actually, so we did show-wise, we did You Wrote It, You Watch It, Garbage Fire, that some of us came out unscathed a little bit. Jon Stewart was amazing in that show. You should see. So like the funny parts of You Wrote It, You Watch It were Jon Stewart and The State. And then we did The State. Mm-hmm. Then we took The State to CBS, got immediately canceled. We did Viva Variety. There's more Vivas. There's like 39 Viva Varieties. Yeah, we brought it to LA. We did one more season in LA and it got canceled. And then we wrote a ton of pilots, some of which you can see online. We did Hey Neighbor with Michael Ian Black, Carrie, the same whole crew. We did a bunch of stuff. And then Fox, Doug Herzog was at Fox. Was Doug at Fox? Right. And then Doug was already gone. He said, come do a sketch show at Fox. Ben and I wrote, I don't know, 50, 80 sketches, that some really, really great ones that I was really proud of. We cast Cedric Yarbrough, Niecy Nash, Carlos Elizraki, Carrie we already had. And then we did a table read and we got canceled at the table read by the new president of Fox.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was like, I have no need for a sketch show. Who cares about a sketch show? It has no hook. And she said, not only does it have no hook, but you're way too old for Fox. And at the time we were 29 years old.
Yeah, this was in 1999.
And we were told we were way too old to be on Fox. So we just, in a panic, we had this cast, we had a crew, we had everything.
Yeah, we hadn't shot anything. Yeah. So we still had like 400 grand left of the budget.
Yeah.
And Tom said, what if we just did like Cops parody?
Tom, just spoof it.
We'll do like, because it was on Fox.
No twist. Yeah.
We were going to air right after Cops anyway. And Tom said, let's just go. We'll get a trailer park and we'll improv and we'll be cops, we'll be robbers, and we'll just think of cop sketches.
Right. Well, that was the big difference also was in the Reno pilot, we were everybody.
Yeah.
So we were the good guys and the bad guys all the time. It was really designed to be like, I mean, it was kind of closer in the like Little Britain world, mm-hmm. You know, like it just kept being all these, like Ben would show up at a crime scene and me and Carrie were like naked weirdos having a fight over, it was just weird. It was just bad teeth.
And they were hitting each other with Boggle. They were like,
it's Boggle fight. Yeah, Boggle.
High on meth and hitting each other with Boggle. And they had some sort of Boggle fight.
Yeah. And then it almost made it on the air at Fox. Got really close. And then they said, you know what you should do? Just don't make it a cop spoof every week. Change what it's spoofing every single week. Mm-hmm. So they were like, do it like an anthology show.
That's right.
So it'll be, and for some reason they called it Viva Variety Presents. The original pilot says on it, Viva Variety Presents Reno 911. And then like the next week,
next week would be ER, and then the next week would be Baywatch. Yep. Like that, we would do like a different thing, and then they didn't pick it up anyway, and then they didn't because that was a bad idea, which we agree.
And it ended up sitting around for like 3 years, and then Jim Sharp and all the nice people at Comedy Central came over, and they're like, "Is there any show you could do that's like no special effects? It's not giant and expensive, daylight exteriors." Stupid, easy to watch. And we're like, yeah, we did one of those exactly for Fox. Do you want to buy it? And they're like, yeah, okay, we'll buy it.
Just that easy.
It's like that.
It was that easy with a slight caveat. The caveat being when we redid it for Comedy Central, mm-hmm. Fox owned literally the videotape that the show was on. So none of those scenes could be used in any way. The tape, you couldn't use the tape that it was on.
Wow.
So even anything we wanted to use from the Fox pilot, we had to reshoot like note for note.
Oh, wow.
So there was a scene with Tom as Dangle, and he pulled over me as a private trainer.
Yeah.
And he's like, so this thing's like, weigh 155? And I'm like, no, dude, that was years ago. Now I'll show you my workout.
He's like,
and then
this says you weigh 151 pounds. You're like, oh, I haven't worked out in a couple of days. It's probably
no, let me show here. No, and then I would show him, here, let me show you 4 things that you're doing wrong with your push-up. And then we end up making out.
Yeah.
And the whole time we're doing that improv, and it's like a 10-minute long improv.
It's long, yeah.
There are 2 California highway officers that have to be there to shut the road down. And so 10 feet away, there's 2 cops. Like watching us improv. And this is before Reno 911 was a show. We were just 2 weird dudes making out as cops.
Full blown, pissed off California Highway Patrol.
Fucking mad, yeah. And we're like trying to be goofy. Hey, dude, let me feel your bicep, dude. And like, oh Jesus.
Oh, and by the way, we had to do that twice.
Yeah.
That was one of the pieces of tape that Fox owned, so we had to do it twice.
And we're doing it. Both of us. Every time you turn around, you could look at the cops. And every time I make eye contact with Tom, I'm like, "Fuck, we got to kiss in a couple of minutes." And these guys are going to be so mad.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
Were you trying to like make it a game, see if you can like get them to like crack?
We're never trying to piss off the cops. Well, we're always trying to make the cops laugh, but we're never trying to piss them off. Yeah.
Let's do that.
Now they love us.
Yeah. Dude. Well, Tom, before you go, I want to apologize. We had a technical difficulty where we lost all our viewers. We're still running and we ran live, but for some reason the page.
No, it's all there. It's all there.
Hey guys, if you want to lose viewers, just hire Tom and Ben to come do the show, bro.
No. That's what we do.
We could just put that background picture up we had earlier.
We lost more viewers when the state was on CBS than anyone had ever lost on CBS, I believe. Yeah.
That's what we said at the time.
I mean, if you're going to do it, right?
Yeah, you get it right.
If you're going to do it, be the best.
Yeah. No, I just felt bad because the page wasn't recurring at all. Like it just cut crap.
No, it all worked out because I watched the analytics. I monitor everything.
But now we can post it later.
Oh yeah, no, it'll right. People will catch up and they'll watch it later on. But
no, they don't see it after this. This is really just there isn't really an audience. We just
this is just for us.
This is just for us. There's
like
beautiful. Just for our own personal library.
I did have to sign a disclaimer that I would not do my pitch. Thanks, Billy.
No, you're not.
All right, Blevins, go, just go.
No.
Okay, hang on. Blevins, I'm gonna mute Billy. Billy's muted. Go.
Okay.
Do
it.
Billy.
We've all gotten in the elevator. I'm going up to Ben. Let's hear your pitch.
I was just saying that, like last time you were on, you said that Ben had a tattoo of the Joker on his side.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about, all the crazy stories you hear in Vegas. One of the big ones is, where somebody gets, trapped by a girl and he wakes up in a bathtub full of ice and his side is cut and he thinks that, like his kidney's taken or whatever. Well, have like a criminal that thought he was the Joker and Ben was the Batman to stop him. And you guys have to go find Ben and you find him and he's in a bathtub of ice and he's got his side cut, but it's not really a cut. It's the Joker. Like the people have tattooed him with the Joker. That was my pitch. It was bad.
And then you show it.
Yeah, and then for the rest of the series, like every time if Ben was to move his shirt or whatever, that tattoo was still there, so it could have been a progressing deal.
Blevins, here's what I love about that. A, everything. B,
I know you're just saying that.
No, but here's what I think is cool about that. What I think is cool about that is it also, if you were to blow up some of the Christopher Nolan universe a little bit, and you take, if you remember Memento, which is a funny sentence.
Absolutely.
But he has to write stuff on himself. Otherwise, there's no way he'll remember it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know what Ben's better at exploding ideas like this, but I think the idea that you wake up with a Joker tattoo and you don't know if you're the Joker or if the Joker gave you that tattoo is kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
Well, you guys should talk.
Hey.
There you go. I'm like, he goes, I want to.
Ben.
Billy's like, don't
if I
you
can lose
dare.
Garant and get Chris Pratt or Kevin Hart, I'm in.
What do you say? What do you say?
Oh, we replaced Ben with Chris Pratt for some reason?
If you can lose Garant and get Chris Pratt or Kevin Hart,
or both.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart.
Work on that. You can do it.
Yeah, refine that.
Hey, by the way, I'm gonna hang on, guys. I'm gonna mute for a second. Hey, Ben, let's steal this idea from Blevins, okay?
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, it's a solid idea. Yeah.
I think we tie it into the Korean she sequence.
I love it.
To me.
She, but who has she with a normal name? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I love it.
I like it. And if
Let's
any of
unmute these guys.
If any of these idiots lawyer up, you know, like, come and get us. We got a great lawyer. Okay, unmute. Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up?
Did we miss anything?
Hey,
we were just having a side.
We'll kick it around.
All is good. All is good.
Oh, Jenny, it's Tucci.
Look, thank you guys for having us.
Dude, you guys are the best. And I will end up asking questions about Lethal Weapon one day.
Good to see you. Yeah, Tom. If
What was that?
Brian wants to ask you about Lethal Weapon.
I know.
Well, he's gotta go. I've been wanting to ask about Lethal Weapon like, I loved Lethal Weapon. Like, I thought
The TV show.
Yeah, the TV show. I thought it was incredible. I thought you were awesome as Leo Getz. Like, I thought everything was great. And then they killed Riggs. Like, I don't understand. Spoiler alert, everybody.
Dude, we'll do like 8 podcasts about that at some point. There's a lot.
God, and I thought Clayne Crawford was so amazing.
What I will say is I
so
love
amazing
every person on that show. I loved and I still love, and I'm friends still with all of them. And part of the amazing thing about that show was that there was friction between the main 2 guys. Like, it wasn't like a love fest. There was definitely like a very volatile sort of thing between them. And
interesting.
It was great for the show, you know? Yeah. But they're both awesome dudes who make me laugh really hard. And yeah. But you know, it's hard, like doing if you want to really test how well you get along with somebody, do a single camera 1-hour TV show with them. Because an episode of Lethal Weapon, the schedule was 11 days straight. So you're basically making almost, not quite, you're making more than half of a feature film every 11 days.
That's crazy. Wow.
It's a lot.
Wow.
And, you know, yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah. Anyway, enjoy the Reno 911s. I got to bounce and be useful here.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Love you all.
Oh, dude, you're the
Thank
best.
you so much.
Same thing. I don't know if you want to.
The best.
You got to go.
Yeah, I got to go. I got to go parents.
We got some parenting stuff going on. Yeah.
We totally appreciate it. We want to thank you guys so much. Anytime you want to come on, we'd love to have you guys back on again. And we'll talk ghosts and we'll talk tattoos and get
I was just gonna say I bought your two Ronan Boyle books.
Oh,
and I was like, man, I read the first one. I thought it was awesome. I haven't got around to reading the second one yet, but I was like, man, like this book is really good. Like, you know,
thanks, man.
I know that sounds horrible, like I'm saying it in a bad way, but I'm not. I was just like, wow, like this is, you know.
Oh, the books they're a little better than you expect, yeah.
Well, that wasn't what I meant. I'm just saying, like, you know, there's a lot of adult themed stuff that you write on a daily basis. And I mean, to read this book, you're like, wow, like, you know, you could see, you know, how wide of a range you have. And it's just, I thought it was incredible. I really do.
You got to keep diversifying. If you're a writer or an actor, keep diversifying because otherwise.
I can't wait to see you in Twilight Zone too.
Oh, thanks, guys. Hey, Oliver, come here for a second. I want to show you off. Come here. I just want to show off. So this is my son right now. Come here. Come here. Show your beautiful face.
Ollie.
Here's Ollie wearing his Weird Al Yankovic shirt.
Hello, Ollie.
And then can I briefly show you Ollie at his first Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Okay, Ollie, do you know how old were you at your first Comic-Con?
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, Eric Powell.
Wow.
You let Eric Powell hold your son. Look at it. Well, I can't think of a better way to end this show than with that.
No, we're still there.
And then we're going to talk next time. Next time you guys come on, we got to convince you guys to make a comic book.
Love it. Great. So
It's gonna happen.
Go Kickstarter.
It's a great idea.
God, it'd be the greatest selling comic book ever.
Yeah, you guys do it on Kickstarter, you'll make $200.
Make millions. You should make millions.
Indiegogo, they'll make $500,000.
It's like $500,000, $1 million easily.
I love it. Let's talk again. This is super fun, guys.
I would love it.
Thank you so much. We know we held you guys over. Thank you for coming on our show.
We love you guys.
Sorry about the technical difficulties. Everyone will catch up, but you guys are awesome, man. Have a
great. I'm gonna text you about stealing all these ideas in a minute, just because some of them are pretty solid.
I got Katzenberg online too. I'll just call you in and we'll pitch some stuff.
Nice. Add to cart.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Love you guys. Bye.
See you later.
Great luck with the show.
Nah, it's fantastic.
God, those guys are incredible, man. Incredible.
Well, I can just sit there and listen to Tom and Ben and their stories. Man, they've gone through so much. You know, just 25 years, over 25 years, man.
Just think, there's been 2 episodes where we've gone like an hour and a half talking to them, and we haven't even touched, you know, the meat of what they bring to the table. It's crazy.
I know. Well, you know, the hard part is they're so down to earth. You just want to chat with them.
That's right.
You just want to talk with them, you know, have fun. You know, I think, you know, we'll get them back on again. You know, we'll chat as things are going on, let the show stream through Quibi for a while, you know, and see how things are going, see what other new projects they have going on. And yeah, man, I mean, there's so much stuff you want to tap into and ask these guys. Yeah. But I mean, earth, it's just, you know, it just shows you that there's good people out there making the entertainment we love, you know, just down to earth. And that's why their stuff's so great, because they just know, they get it. They get what's funny, right? They get what's funny and they get what people want. It's fantastic.
And they're brilliant. They really are. They're brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant.
Wow, what a great week of shows, huh, boys?
I know.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. Dude. Man, and can we announce it? Like just heard back, Humberto Ramos is up to come back on next Thursday. 21st.
Nice.
He confirmed, man. He's down.
Well, when's Brian Polito coming on?
Well, Brian Polito, I'm working that out with him. Maybe I'll see if he wants to pop on the 22nd.
Is he launching on the 20th?
He's launching on the 20th, yeah. So he's looking at maybe coming on the 21st or 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah, 21st.
Which day did he ask for a specific day?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. And then we got Jimmy Palmiotti coming on.
Yeah, Jimmy Palmiotti coming on with a special guest. We're gonna do another Hollywood Horrors. So, you know, that's where, for anyone that's not familiar with the theme of that show, it's, you know, creators out there who have their IPs, they're working on stuff, and then Hollywood approaches, right?
Yeah.
And all the fun that comes with that. Because I mean, the stories are incredible.
Yeah.
Absolute horror stories.
Just like them, like with Fox, you guys are too old for Fox, and they're 29, and they look like they were young looking too. You know, they look 29. It's like, holy crap! Well, all right, so next week we have Travis, right? Yeah. Travis Miller,
yeah,
and Phil Loeffler. Sorry. And then Wednesday we have Jimmy Palmiotti and his special superstar guest.
Mm-hmm.
Secret guest, and then we have Humberto Ramos on the 21st Thursday.
We have more guests than that next week, gents. We have more guests than that.
Who else we got on?
We have more to the calendar, to the schedule.
And then hopefully Friday will be Brian Polito.
Yeah, so next week, guys, we've got Alton Simpson, right? We have Travis Miller. So actually, Phil Loeffler won't be attending that show. He was going on with Alton Simpson, but he can't make it. So Alton's coming on to talk about The Edge. Now, if you guys remember, I'm sorry, not The Edge, Jersey Vampires. And then we got Patrick Thomas Parnell coming on the show, Travis Miller. Then we got our Hollywood Horror Stories, which is going to be great, which Jimmy's getting a special guest for that show.
Special.
I'm curious to find out who it is. I have a suspicion, but I'm like, it's probably not going to happen. I'm not going to say it. I'm not jinxing it.
Yeah, don't jinx it, because that's too good.
Don't jinx it.
If it is who I think it is, that'll be great. Great doesn't even describe it.
Don't you love how Jimmy just throws it? Well, maybe I'll get so-and-so to come on with us. And we're like, what?
Like, what? That's like the dude that he goes and they go through just to hang out, and for us it's like a big deal, right? And now we've got Humberto Ramos confirmed to do another appearance because we had that short run of just someone, I don't know, getting us flagged or taken off,
booting us, giving us.
Yeah, man, what happened tonight? Like I said, I don't know.
You guys, that happens every stream.
No, I kept trying to watch it, and it just would show the video for a bit, no audio, and then it would make me lose it. I took a screenshot of it.
Yeah, it happens almost every show. It depends on where you're at and when you join in, because when you're looking at the analytics, it drops, right? Yeah. And then it comes right back up and flows through.
Here's Lee. Lee said, sorry, Lee, I know we usually go on at 9 p.m. We went on earlier. We went 7 p.m. us because that's the only time that Tom and Ben could go on.
Yeah.
So, and it was great.
Well, so you get, people are going to watch it later. You know?
It was a very small price to pay for such amazing content.
It really was. It was great. I like it. I like it. We're done, and it's not even 9 o'clock.
I know.
I like this.
That is the thing.
I really like this because I'm tired of going to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Come on, now, Billy.
Dude,
I get up at 7. I get up at 6:30, 7 o'clock every morning.
Yeah, but you're talking like you're not going to still go to bed at 1 o'clock.
I know.
But it's different.
Damn, win.
Because I watch like Ethan's stream or someone else, or Dave and Dan's stream or something like that. So I'll be like,
God, dude, Dan.
I'll be sketching away over here.
Yeah, no, we'll be back though. It's nice, and the bit of a luxury we had today was starting earlier. We'll be back to 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. So okay,
9:30
tomorrow.
We got Humberto on Thursday, right? So right now we have no shows, but we're also going to be working on. Obviously, we have so much stuff. Let's have a little. You know what? Let's take the 10 minutes we have. We'll end at 9. We'll end at 9. We're gonna do kind of what we normally do when we would end the stream, right? Because we don't necessarily go anywhere. We've got things going on, and we've got stuff in the works. We have during this show, I've had some big names coming through that want to work on some things now, which is great. Yes. So in turn, it seems to be a lot of guys like the panel we did. So at Pop XP, we're doing panels. We're offering things. And I saw a lot of posts today, which I did chime in on. And I'm not one to chime in on a lot of things, but they're talking about, okay, the conventions, right, are going online, but they're making people pay. We don't make people pay. Pop XP doesn't make you pay to come into a live stream and talk to a creator, right?
Right.
So I chimed in and I said, well, that's a great idea. People need to make money. They need to do things, but don't forget, there's great channels out there like Pop XP where you don't have to pay. You can come in and ask a question. Now, if you want to super chat it and help donate to the show, because any super chats do go into the pot that helps us run the show. And we're currently saving up that money to get really good professional streaming software that's going to do some crazy things. StreamYard's great. We love it. It's simple to operate, but we kind of want to get back to that, what we were doing with OBS, with custom things, having that, but the software will give us that simple function as well. But besides the point, we've got panels that are coming up, Billy. We've got one in the works that we're talking about right now. We got confirmation from those creators. We got to get that going. So we're going to be recording on weekends. We're going to be recording panels. We're going to be doing live panels too. We're going to have a recorded panel a month and a live panel a month.
Can we do the Sergeant Rock panel on the 3rd of June? I'm sorry, on the 6th of June, which will be the 76th anniversary of D-Day?
Well, let's take a look.
Hey, Billy, did you see the DC animated Sergeant Rock short? I
didn't, bro. I did not see it. Is it good?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good.
Is it set in World War II and all?
Yeah, you can watch it on. You can go to the YouTubes. It's free.
It's on the
free to watch.
They even have it on DC Universe too. In there.
Yeah, it's a DC Universe. Man, all those DC Universe shorts have been incredible. Like the Phantom Stranger one was amazing. They did a Phantom Stranger one, DC.
DC.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I like DC Universe. Do I own pretty much everything that is on that app when it comes to television and movies? Yes, right. But I like having it on there. And it is nice when I want to read a comic. At first I was like, oh, it only has bits and pieces of the comics. But then I realized it actually the format may not be the best, right? But all the books are there. So you only think like there's so many of a series, but no. If you're like, oh, they only have this and this, but then all of a sudden you realize once you're done with this issue, you'll say you're on issue 13 and you think it's going to stop at 13. Nope. 14, 15, so it keeps going on and on. It's just the way they present it's a little funky when it comes to the comics. But that app, I'm sorry. I think any other comic book publishing company that's going to get into other forms of multimedia with animation, live action, comics, shorts, news, all that stuff. I think DC Universe, I think, has it down. You know, besides maybe, you know, I would change some things on the interface of it. But besides that, I mean, as I'm a DC guy, you guys know that I'm a huge DC guy, and it's all there.
Yeah. Dude, I have to say though, the DC Universe cartoons have been just, I mean, they've just been so far superior than absolutely. The Spectre one was absolutely.
Why don't we do a show critiquing and reviewing the DC showcase cartoons,
the shorts,
the DC?
I mean, I'm done. Like,
we'll do a whole show where we're going to go through the DC Universe app.
Yeah,
we're gonna go through the whole DC Universe app. We'll put it right up on here, and we're gonna go
17-hour stream. 17-hour stream. We're doing it.
Stream, Billy.
We're doing it.
Yeah,
and you know, I posted on Pop XP about how incredible the Justice League, League Dark turned out in an animated form. The Justice League Dark, which is all part of that whole Flashpoint storyline. And man, the Apocalypse War, this last one they did, was so incredible. Like, I mean, I can't even, like, there has been nothing like it in any of the DC cartoons, and it is incredible. Awesome. And I love the John Constantine character. Like, Matt Ryan is. Oh, yes, I'm glad he gets to do everything.
Nice, Kevin Freer. I like everything you guys have going on. Keep up the great work, fellas. Thank you,
Kevin, for that. Thank you.
We're really trying to. You know, we've had a lot of talks. We've done a lot of research. I think, you know, some people are confused with the rebranding. You know, we didn't lose any subscribers, which is good. We've gained some more subscribers. And really, we're just trying to encompass everything. There's so much to the world of, you know, it had to be pop culture because it's things that are popular, things that are going on. It was just a logical choice. And we're so
what we like.
You're enjoying it. It's everything we like, right? TV shows, movies. I mean, talking about crowdfunding comics is great. And as you can all still see, it's still the primary focus of the channel because we love creators and we love what people are doing.
I'm going to convince Ben and Tom to do a comic.
Convince them to do a comic, man. I think great too is like those guys, like I mean, they can come on the show. I mean, and they're very busy. They're super. I know
absolutely.
But they could come on certain themed shows of ours, and I think they can just jump right in. I mean, just talking some of the film stuff. I mean, talk about a Hollywood horrors episode right there, Billy.
Right? Yeah, well, we can probably even invite them late. Like, hey, Ben, you want to come on? We're talking Hollywood horrors.
Yeah,
can you come on for a half hour?
That'd be great.
Do that later on, you know, because he's got two little kids, Ben.
Yeah.
So,
and I just want to say that Kevin Freer has always been my favorite, and now you know why.
Nice.
Kevin Freer is a great dude.
He's always been my favorite. Always.
My favorite too.
Yeah, I know.
DJ, you gotta catch up, man. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. But no, great show, guys. I love what we're doing with the channel. I think everything we've all done together as a team, myself, Billy, Brian, Frank, amazing. You know, we all
amazing
to really refocus everything, and I think everyone's gonna be pleasantly pleased with what we have lined up. I mean, where else are you gonna go that you actually have an opportunity to ask a creator a question you want? And we have our core viewers, and you guys know, look, if there's something you really kind of want to be involved with or do something, you have some serious questions, you can reach us. You can message us on Facebook, Twitter. I respond to a lot of you guys. You know, if we got someone coming on that you're a huge fan of, don't be afraid to reach out. I mean, the answer may not be yes always, but if we can help make someone's dream a reality, we'll work on it. You know, we're going to try to make that happen. So, I mean, there's just so much stuff going. I mean, look at Brian. He's tickled pink.
You love it.
Ideas are going to get stolen. It's fantastic.
You see that?
Yeah, but like when I said that Kevin is my favorite, I mean he's my favorite like audience, my favorite chat person. You know, Jimmy is my best friend in the whole wide world. In the whole wide world.
That's great.
All right, guys. Well, again, great show. So looking forward to next week. I'll get up our Pop XP guide up in social media, so you guys will have the promos of all the shows that are going to be happening next week, and we'll make a few more confirmations tonight. And I think next week's going to be fun, guys.
Absolutely.
All right, gentlemen. As usual, another fantastic show. Those that joined us in the chat, I know we started early, but thanks for popping in. You know, it started getting busy towards the end there. But as always, we love you guys. TJ, Kevin, Heroin Burr, Lee. Oh, that's Frank Amazing.
Yeah, Frank Amazing.
He's here.
Nat V. Peter Samedi joined in.
Yeah, Frank Amazing here. Nile.
Second Street Marvel. Yeah, he's in the chat.
Yeah.
That's
he is in the studio.
No. COVID, bro. You can't come to. You can't travel to the studio.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I know, bro.
I got security here.
Hey, Billy.
Yes, sir.
I just want to let you know you're awesome, man.
You know what? You're even more awesome.
Thank you for having me on the show. Hey, Nile.
Hey.
You're awesome, too. Just not as much as Billy, but you're definitely up there.
Hey, you know what? As CEO, you all are okay. I will replace you. But for now, you're kind of awesome.
You're kind of decent. Like,
what's that, Billy?
I thought I was CEO.
No, you're the CCO, sir. CCO, Chief Creative.
You're smart and funny. And doggone it, people like you.
You're the CCO.
Look at this. Watch this.
And
no. I don't know. I know the least about comics out of everyone in this that's ever been on the show. I think I know less than anyone, including those guys.
He can tell you the exact year, month, and date, though, of something that involves a comic person. He's like, let me tell you, I think it was 1982. It was about 342nd. We were down at 4th Street on the corner of whatever. Billy's awesome.
And yeah, you know, I could tell by the shirts, like Ben Garant, you know, and
yeah, dude, Battle Royale.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
You guys missed the 90s, man. They were good times, right? Old Bean. Here's Old Bean.
I'll tell you what, man. You know, you guys talk about New York City being crazy in Times Square, but have you stood out of TRL waiting for Carson Daly?
Dude, I wanted to tell them about that. You know, like back when TRL had their Who Wants to Be a VJ, like I was definitely wanting to be part of that. And the guy who came in second place, Dave Holmes, is on Reno 911, and I think that he should have won, but they got this tall, lanky guy named Jesse Camp who talked like that.
Like, hey,
sure, and you couldn't even understand what he said.
Yeah, we got a new video. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, with the guitar out,
cry like a baby.
That could have been that. They had no. You couldn't get a. You know.
Yeah, he won. It was actually Jesse Camp, Dave Holmes, and I can't remember the red-haired girl that was there too. But they got to see the very first performance of NSYNC in the United States that happened at the TRL Live studio
with Joey Fatone and
yeah, absolutely.
I like Justin Timberlake, man. I like him. I think he's funny in movies and stuff. I know Bye, but I don't know any of his other songs. But
it's cool. It's cool, Boomer.
Yeah, I think he's cute. What? Oh wait, what did I say? What? Oh my god! Oh,
I'm a Boomer. You gotta know NSYNC. About NSYNC and squeal.
It's hard to say.
Let's get off the stream. Billy's gonna turn around. He's just gonna be like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like, bye.
And then Debbie will pop out and be like, loser.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were there.
I didn't know you were there. All right,
gentlemen. Fantastic.
You guys are incredible.
You guys make a great show. We also have
having me on
coming on the 28th. Right?
Amanda Connor's
coming. It's going to be the Amanda Connor highlight show.
And we have to get our Ultraverse panel recap live Q&A episode going.
Yes, yep, and the Sergeant Rock too. Let's look for the 6th of June.
This discussion is profoundly disturbing.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take that off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you control that anymore.
And Sync has the pop song, has the theme song for Pop XP. Dirty Pop.
Dirty Pop. All right, now it's weird. All right, now it's like a 13-year-old girl slumber party.
All right, guys. Good to see you.
All right, guys.
Thank you. Rock. We will see you Tuesday.
We will see you Tuesday.
I can work for a couple of days. Great. And do yard work. I got to do yard work. I bought some grass patching stuff because my dog is just destroying the backyard.
Is she taking shits in the grass?
She's taking shits and she's urinating all over the place.
Oh my god!
So and I don't think the landscapers came today. I didn't hear them, so I gotta, I was hoping to weed and feed today because I haven't weed and feeded yet. Is that crazy?
You didn't weed and feed, bro? Don't you got people for that?
Not weed and feed,
bro. I got people that come. The guy rides a machine around the yard. I just hear.
How did he hit you up for that, bro?
What's that?
Why'd he hit you up for that?
No, that's like $160.
That's it.
I have an acre and a quarter.
Dang.
An acre and a quarter.
I got 2.5 acres. How about you, Blevins? How much acreage you got?
I think I'm on 2 acres.
I win.
You do win.
I do win.
You're not 2.5 acres.
What? Yes, I do.
Look at 0.25 acres.
What? No, I got 0.7.
He tells everyone, he's like, "Oh, my studio's on the 3rd floor." No, it's on the 2nd level of his 1-car garage.
Yeah. What? Is that true?
Yes, dude. He lives above a subway.
Oh, I don't.
Billy's studio is actually.
What?
I heard Billy's studio is in his ivory tower.
It is.
Oh my
at the top of his ivory tower.
Billy's got a kick-ass house. It's a great party house.
It is, especially in the wintertime.
I still am waiting for Billy to send me a picture of his She Jusco painting. I've been.
It's right there. Look.
No, it's not there.
It's right there. It's right there.
Tom and Ben just left.
He sits downstairs.
Dinner? Oh.
Oh, that's nice.
Salad in your dinner.
Oh, say hello, honey. Say hello.
Hey, Deb.
Hey, Deb.
Hey, guys.
How you doing? What are you eating?
Right now, just a salad.
Oh, nice.
It's too late to eat.
Yeah, well, say goodbye. We're signing off, so say goodbye with me.
All right.
Have a good night, everyone.
We'll see you Tuesday, 9 p.m.
See ya.
Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Have a great evening.
Yeah, we're still on. Talk to you guys tomorrow. See ya.
Bye.